Most of our churches were burnt. Many people were killed.
For the past few years, we've been having recurrent crisis on Plateau.
Everybody was afraid, we were in chaos.
I was a victim.
They did many destructions.
Part of what we are doing to help our people,
how they will start a business,
how they should come out of devastation,
to make them forget about what has happened.
We are working in 4 local governments that were really hit by the crisis.
Helping people overcome distress, live a better life, and find peace is the core mission of the Mennonite Central Committee, and for which it is celebrating 100 years of service to humanity. Ori Miller's initiative in 1959, as well as Hostata's path-clearing work, along with efforts from many other committed Mennonites, led to the Discipleship Conference in Limuru, Kenya, for the African Mennonite leaders from Rhodesia, today's Zimbabwe, Tanganyika, today's Tanzania, Ethiopia, Somalia, Ghana, Nigeria, and the Congo. This was a turning point in the mission's growth in Africa and was initiated in 1959 by Ori Miller and driven by relentless efforts of Hostata and many other committed Mennonites. Since then, the great work of this worldwide ministry of Anabaptist churches, committed to sharing God's love and compassion for all by responding to basic human needs and working for peace and justice, spread across the length and breadth of Africa south of the Sahara. Nigeria achieved the status of a country program in 1959 and has continued to enjoy the humanitarian assistance of this global ministry in the areas of education through the Teachers Abroad program, in the areas of rural development by providing water and boosting agriculture, as well as providing medical assistance and sanitation interventions.
Mennonite Central Committee. Mennonite is a church. And Mennonite Central Committee came out as an organization, as the arm of the church, to is a relief and development arm of the church that helps the church in North America, the Church of the Brethren in Christ and the Mennonite combined, set up this organization to help people around the world who are suffering, who have been neglected, who are marginalized. And because of the suffering, people came together, these churches came together to support those who are underprivileged. And so that's what MCC does all over the world. And MCC works in over 60 countries in the world, in different parts of the world, doing different things.
The MCC also intervened robustly in relief and peace activities since the Nigerian Civil War days. Fast forward to present-day Nigeria, the farmers-herders conflict, inter-ethnic and religious conflict in the north-central region has strained relations and caused frayed nerves, spreading distrust between neighbors. Then came the Boko Haram insurgency, which further devastated the northeastern part of the country.
During the Boko Haram attack, everybody was scattered. Some of the people lost their properties. They killed some people, and people become traumatized. Everybody are angry with people. Some of people says, if you reach home, we will kill everybody to meet there, because they are traumatized. Yes, sir. They burned the houses of the people. They took everything. Those that have even a cow, motorcycles, they burned the houses of the people.
People running around early in the morning, around 10. You can see how people were running, especially women and their children. So it was really a bad incident, and that made people to have a deep sorrow in their life.
When they came back from displacement and found that their home were razed down, their business places were looted and burnt, many people collapsed and died.
Tun on 5th September muka bar gida. Mu mun cire tsammani akan cewa ba za mu sake samu rayuwa mai daɗi ba. Amma cikin ikon Allah da muka yi gudu muka zo Yola. Muka zo ba mu da inda za mu sauka tukuna mun sauka gidan mutane. Daga nan suka zo suka taimaka muka samu inda za mu fake.
The aftershocks of the Boko Haram crisis in the northeast of Nigeria, where communities have been polarized based on religious differences, and this has the coming of MCC. It came at the time where to douse the tension between Muslims and Christians, because Christian groups felt that the Boko Haram insurgency came from a kind of Muslim background, while Muslims themselves suffered a lot because some of the members of Boko Haram, nobody can say where they really belong. So there were political tensions and other issues in our community, in our state here in Adamawa.
The MCC has gradually gathered relevance as it continues the mission of caring for displaced and other vulnerable people, providing water, food and shelter during conflict or disaster, and serving with humility and in partnership to meet local needs with local solutions. The MCC has worked well through grassroots engagement with different communities without regard to faith or location.
Our relationship with MCC started sometimes in November 2016 when they approached us and conduct an organizational assessment, checking our capacity and how possible JDPC is capable of implementing the EPRT, looking at how vague and of course how wide the project will cover in the state.
Maternal and child death has been a thing of a concern in Nigeria precisely, and it has been a thing that deprives sustainable development from being achieved. So with this program, with the Wise God, that has touched the life of people directly in the rural areas where it is really happening. Because one, there is ignorance in the side of women in the communities, ignorance about clinic utilization, ignorance about going to the hospital for their antenatal care, ignorance about contracting infections in their communities, ignorance about child health, even the child they deliver. So that one poses a lot of child death, maternal and child death in our communities.
CAPOD was established about 7 years ago, and we got involved with the MCC precisely in 2016 to date.
We started really a partnership with MCC since 2006, and my predecessor, David Opipi, actually was the one who invited them. Then basically the focus was then on training of traditional birth attendants, and then anti-snake venom production, which was like a kind of an epidemic actually. And by that intervention, it actually reduced the level of death by snake bite in Taraba State especially.
Our partnership started on a sound footing, trying to build peace within the state. That was when we started, and then of course it later on metamorphosed into coming together as a body to come up with a network called EPRT. Our partnership started on a sound footing, trying to build peace within the state. That was when we started, and then of course it later on metamorphosed into coming together as a body to come up with a network called EPRT. MCC was actually instrumental and played a very vital role in the establishment of EPRT as a network.
EPRT is a program that actually we benefited in my local government, Giri, local government, as one of the local government in Adamawa State. One of the benefit we can see we drive from EPRT is one, it has fostered more unity in my community, and it has also fostered more relationship. You know, Giri is one of the local government that experience religious crisis, tribalism, and all sorts of things, and also in the issue of kidnapping issue. You know, EPRT is a program that actually inform people ahead of time, you know, organize people ahead of time and make people to live in peace. So I think, and the most highest benefit being on earth is to see peace reigning in your community.
I am a member of EPRT, Emergency Preparedness and Response Team, here in Yola. And I'm also meant to be the supervisor of Yola South local government. And the members there are comprised of heads of departments, including the district head. So I supervise their activities. Now what I want to say about MCC is that I went to primary school, I went to teachers college, I went for my diploma. Put together, it will not give me the knowledge I acquired from MCC. In schools, when I came back, I was working, and that work was basically for my family. There was nobody coming outside, you know, to benefit from it. But by the time I joined a MCC through JDBC Yola, and I was so exposed because of the activities. And now, presently, as I am, I'm a custodian of many communities. Now look at, when we go to Yola South local government, I have the Shagari ward completely. I'm the chairman of the community. Why did it happen so? Because the training I got from MCC in conflict resolution are made to come in between individuals and communities to solve problems that are coming up to disrupt the society.
The impact of MCC's interventions is felt in many areas of need, such as coping with trauma and devastation, training and empowerment, reforming social deviance, and promoting peace among members of post-conflict communities.
We started 2017. Precisely, I signed the MOU in October. That is after writing the proposal, and there was back and forth, and you know, so I signed the MOU and we started. By then we empowered 260 women with 30,000 naira each. But not just empowering them, we also trained them. We trained them on record keeping, so that as they collect this money, if they go to market and buy the items they want to use, they should know how much they bought the items, and then after using, they should know their gain.
To gaskiya na gode ma kungiyar MCC waje. Allah ya saka muku da alheri.
Currently, we have two programs with MCC. The first one is on community empowerment, and the second program we have with MCC is a maternal and child health program, where women who are, or parents, families who are HIV positive are recruited. They have to meet a criteria and they are recruited into the program. And the program pays for their viral load, pays for all the tests, even to the scanning, and if the women need to have a cesarean section, the program pays for them.
It has been a great journey with MCC because we started this project with them in 2017 to 2019. We have empowered 690 women in total with economic empowerment and trauma healing. In the trauma healing project also, it really helps them. Some of them were relieved, and at the end of the training, everybody was happy and relieved about their trauma.
We had the very first contract in 2016, and then that expired in 2019, and we have started another one, and it's mainly on conflict transformation and peace building. Actually, we started another one which became like an added program, which we call DELPAP. And DELPAP is Development, Education, Leadership and Peace Awareness Program. It's a leadership program that helps transform people individually so that they have the skills and knowledge that they can use at home and in the society where they work with and for.
And because of the livelihood program, that's the skill acquisition, the sewing, the computer school, and the knitting school, which MCC sponsored, a lot of these youth have been engaged, and it creates a platform where the people from different faiths had to come together to learn together. And in the course of their training, we try to organize a discipleship program to see how we can strengthen faith, a relationship, and as well, it has made Faith Alive and MCC program a safe ground.
And I was privileged to get the first training on RPP, that's Reflective Peace Practices, and that was given to my community. 15 of us came on board. After the training, we went back, we saw the need of trying to identify those things that can unite us as human beings and not looking at those issues that can divide us.
The project is transformative peace building project that seeks to transform drug addicts, radicals, people that are extremists in their behaviors, people that are termed as criminals, people that are near condemned from the society. The project seeks to, get across to them, nominated by their communities as potential troublemakers, people that are likely to be Boko Haramis, people that are, potential terrorists in their own rights. The project is keen at selecting them and training them in the art of de-radicalization, where they undergo a series of trainings that have to do with reconstructing their minds from negative to positive.
In the past, there existed a kind of an elitist organization led by the American University called Adama Peace Initiative, API. But it was meant for university professors and representatives of the INGOs. But the ordinary market women and drivers association and other local people, even religious bodies, were not engaged in that. So there was a gap because the tension at that high level, these people may have their intellectual discussions and understand each other. But when there is tension, it's with the youth, with secondary school boys and girls, with people in the market, motor parks. So this project has been able to bring all these organizations together to discuss at the local levels, local government levels in our 21 local governments in this state.
We've started our project with MCC on issue of HIV and AIDS.
I will say directly we are able to target about 1,600 plus beneficiaries directly, and of course a lot of those beneficiaries which were not really directly benefiting from the project, where we don't really have a database to that regard. But of course, if I must say, I think we are closing to close to 10,000 indirect beneficiaries on this particular project.
If it is not because of the grace of God and you, MCC, even me myself, I don't know where am I today. Because before we reach Yola, when they chased us from Minchika, I'm totally confused because they burned my house, they packed everything in my house. So to glory be to God, when I joined the MCC, I had a trauma workshop at Yola. The thing has come normal now. Yes. I even forget about everything myself. Yes, because one question is, if you see the Boko Haram now, what do you do with them after the workshop? I said, no, I will forgive them because they did it ignorance.
The PTC training has changed our behavioral attitudes, not just the peace aspect of the work. And that's also link or transfer to the communities, the immediate communities that we live, and the organization where we work.
To say the good work that the MCC is doing, they should continue, because I think if there's anything we can do to help people to value their lives despite they have lost so many things. Maybe some have lost hope in life, they have lost their properties, they have lost their relations, some wives, husbands, and children. But to create this hope that even after traumatic event, life must continue until when we die, otherwise we must survive.
We were able to train, courtesy of the MCC, about more than 100 project beneficiaries spanning across religion, faith, gender, and ethnic backgrounds. And as a matter of fact, these people have been so empowered to the point that they now stand on their own, as from people that are rejected from communities to people that are accepted, the people that are even providing, job security and employment to many others.
Ta kira mu ta bamu 30,000. Baya 30,000 da ta bamu, ni kam zan ce kamar ni kam dai zan ce daga MCC din zuwa waje mama kamar sun ni ma ban san wai an yi boko haram ba yanzu, na manta. Abu da ban taba fuskanci ba na samu cin gaba. Na tafi gwana, na je ne noman gida, masara tukuna, shinkafa 29 na samu. Bayan buhu shinkafa, na samu geda 12, na samu masara buhu 10.
Ana ta ɗaukar sunanmu a cikin hijiran nan, ba mu taɓa gan wanda ya tamake mu ba, sai MCC waki da mama su ne suke tamake mu. Da muka siya fili nan muna ci gaba da sana'armu, sai na sake kama kasuwa. Ina varanda yanzu a kasuwa ma hakan nan, ina varanda, muna adashe ma a cikin kasuwa. In mun tashi za mu jefa adashe. Yanzu a haka muka yi kokori, na siya ma mai gida na nafe, ba abun yi. Yana fita yana yi nafe kaɗan-kaɗan. To da adashe na kaɗan-kaɗan da nake yi, a gaske sai godiya. Gashi akwai yaranmu a makaranta, ba mai taimako, in ba MCC ba mai taimake mu. Mu yanzu akwai yaranmu a makaranta muna ba su kaɗan-kaɗan. Akwai yayina na guda 3 kuma da Boko Haram ya kashe. Duka akwai yaran marayu.
In this part of the country, savings is one of the difficult things that people do, because they felt that it is when you have much that you even go to the bank and save. But with this exercise, after being trained, they are now doing savings. And amazingly, what even surprised us is the amount of money that these people have been able to save right now. And by the grace of God, when we are able to finish the pilot projects, they can do something on their own. Mostly, it's not something that one can even say, but if you go there and witness what these women are doing, it's amazing.
In Basa, we have 3 groups of 25 each. They have saved more than $1 million.
EPRC established by JDPC Yola in partnership with MCC is a highly respected body. We have been called to make inputs to organize peace meetings even by the police headquarters here in Yola, and we have been invited by the Air Force base here in Yola to help them put up a structure where they can engage farmers and herders through our, because we have been given the necessary training through the training opportunities offered by MCC and the trainings that they have been conducting in Plateau State, in Jos, workshops that peace workshops that our facilitators have attended. So we are well equipped to carry on with this.
In working with the various groups to achieve its noble objectives, MCC has created a style and approach designed to carry everyone along and bring out the best in every individual and every group, an approach driven by deep desire to promote peace among humanity.
Testimonies are by the day being generated from communities, and we're really thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for enabling the MCC to do what they have done. We say thank God and thank you to the MCC. And then we also say the MCC, it's essentially very different from other funding organizations, from other donors, because they are approachable, they are reachable, they are modest and level-headed in terms of their approaches to issues.
I enjoy working with MCC because they are peaceful. It's good to be in peaceful situation, and it's good to be in good working relationship. That can be attested to. MCC representative is here. He has been supporting WAHIB very well, and even the laws in JOS, they have been doing very well. If there is something that we don't understand, they explain to us. They keep on explaining to us, and we appreciate that, because actually we are working in a very good relationship with MCC. In fact, I can say they are my best partners.
Partners differ so much. Some come with a lot of restrictions, but MCC doesn't. What they do is rather they want you to build a relationship that cut across religion, cut across region, cut across all that. And they encourage that so much. And that has helped us to see many communities where we work, we've seen relationships that were soured being built as a result of the project. So because we have that peace element around, peace building element, as part of the project too. And that is actually, it's not a common thing to see.
MCC has a jollof rice kind of partners where they have, is an interfaith, though it is a Christian organization, but one aspect of it that I love so much is that MCC is very, very inclusive, carrying everybody along. They look at humanity first.
With the impact they have given to communities and of course structures in the States and of course in other parts of the world, I will say they deserve more than a prayer, if I can be permitted to say this. Of course it has been very impactful what they have been doing to persons around. So we say the Lord should equally sustain them, and of course more doors should be open so that issues of attending to persons in need will be prioritized most.
If prayers could be horses, I wish the MCC to grow taller than they are. What they are doing, only God will pay them. I pray for this organization to grow to the height. May God bless them, bless their children, bless their grandchildren, so that we shall have peace in the world.
My prayers for MCC at 100 is that God will continue to bless all those that have sacrificed and willed their resources to see this good work, both in education, in health, in peace building, continue in other countries, not just in Nigeria.
Actually, MCC at 100 has done so much. It has done so much for 100 years. The impact it has made, it's uncommon. It's uncommon. And so I will urge all partners of MCC, all donors to MCC, to really keep up the goodwill, because the level of the impact MCC is making through our partners, especially here in Nigeria, it's so much, so much, and it's boundless. So I think the more they continue to do that, the more impact they will continue to see.
Well, MCC at 100, I can say from the time that I knew MCC, I can say that they have done very, very well. Excellent. Excellent. Yes, goodwill is not from me alone. Even all my partners, I mean my beneficiaries, They always say, God bless MCC, God bless Wahi.
God will uplift them more and more spiritually and also physically, so that the whole world will enjoy their own reward, and God will also reward them in heaven.
MCC should be able to grow to the extent whereby at the end of it all, a lot of people will be able to assess and see that they have life in dignity, because most of the MCC project is contributing toward change. Yeah. So I wish MCC good luck, success, and I wish that the 100 years will be more fruitful.
MCC should keep on doing this. And I can say we as a church, UYN, we are so much appreciative to MCC for their support. Yes. Yes, I wish them long life. I wish them also anything that will move the organization forward. Unity amongst the donors, and more especially those who will work closely with them, you that have come from Jos.
What we are saying for this MCC, there's nothing we can say but say thank you for what they have done to us. MCC has made the northern part of Nigeria to be something.
In this celebration of 100 years, we'd like to rejoice with you. We will like to wish you the very best that God has to offer, and then we would like to continue to be with you in this journey of serving humanity in the best way we can. Thank you, and God bless the MCC.
We believe and envisage a future whereby MCC will be able to do more than what she has been able to do over the past century. We're looking forward to another, maybe many centuries to come ahead in service to humanity, and of course in the ability to touch lives across the globe.
On behalf of Gindri Theological Seminary and the Church of Christ in Nations, I wish to say congratulations to MCC at 100 years.
So my prayer for MCC is that MCC will not just be an organization, but it will be on itself a society where people will find hope and succor. And I pray that God will continue to bless those who are behind the success stories, who are not seen, but they're doing very much in terms of contribution. So I pray that God will enrich them and strengthen them.
I wish MCC God's blessings in this centenary, and I pray that God will open doors for them to be able to help humanity. MCC should continue in that humble spirit of offering help, wiping the tears of suffering humanity and trying to build peace, so that we live together as God's children, brothers and sisters, loving one another, assisting one another. And that is what God wants. I pray that God will continue to strengthen the staff of MCC and all those involved in this organization.
For the future, the 100 years down the line, because we may not live to see the 100 years. But our generation will try to leave behind is to see a generation that MCC is going to focus more and more on peace work in Nigeria, especially because we want to leave a legacy. We want to leave a Nigeria that is one, a Nigeria that is peaceful, that a Nigeria that people will want to come and see.
If we could bring him back from more than 600 years ago, Menno Simons of Friesland would certainly feel proud of having started the Mennonite movement. Even more enchanted would be the likes of P.C. Hibbert, who chaired the very first meeting of the Mennonite Central Committee, MCC, on the 27th of September 1920 to confront famine in the then southern Russia, today's Ukraine. The MCC and all its partners in the service of humanity deserve the accolade, the blessings, and the prayers for success. we join the millions of partners and beneficiaries in Nigeria and in every corner of the world in praying for MCC to say happy centenary celebrations, even as the journey into the 2nd century begins.